Good day, my name is Calvin Fiel. I'm a conservation officer in Shaunavon. I've been asked by the Grand Coteau Center to give a brief introduction to the wildlife of the area. So we're in here in the Natural Resource Room.
The Natural History Room, yeah.
Natural History Room. We're going to give a brief introduction as to some of the animals that are present in the grassland region, and also talk maybe a little bit about the unique microclimates that are also in the grasslands region. So first, I guess that you wouldn't normally find any other place in Saskatchewan, Pronghorn Antelope and the buffalo that are in the Grasslands National Park. The antelope are unique to southern Saskatchewan. You don't normally see them any other place. One of the fastest game animals in Saskatchewan. Other unique birds or mammals that you will find in southern Saskatchewan are the sage grouse that are only present in southwest Saskatchewan, and the black-tailed prairie dog. And Saskatchewan is the only place in Canada that has populations of black-tailed prairie dog. The other unique places in the southwest Saskatchewan are the Cypress Hills, kind of a microclimate where you don't find that any other place in Saskatchewan. The lodgepole pine, stuff like that. Some of the species you may see down there are pelicans, some of the grebes, some ducks. You'll see the ducks and geese all over southwest Saskatchewan and Saskatchewan. Not unique to that specifically, but this is some of the stuff you will see there. Other ducks that are common in the grasslands or Shaunavon area: pintails, mallards, shorebirds, you'll see lots of. Some of the other animals that you're going to find in the grasslands are the badger, which is not really a fond member of the weasel family that is liked by ranchers and farmers down here because of the holes they dig all over the place. And when they dig the holes, a lot of times they're going after these little guys, the gophers. That's their main source of food. Another thing that the gophers are the main source of food for is the golden eagles, which down here we'll see nesting on the side of the cliffs and stuff like that in the river valleys. Most times, not often do you see them in trees down here because there are not that many trees to be seen. Some of the other animals and birds that you're going to run into down south are more common than sharp-tailed grouse. That is a common bird down here. The only time you'll see snowy owls is in the wintertime, because they migrate out of the north, come down south, because it's easier to find food. And another bird of prey that's very common down here is the great horned owl. An animal that you probably won't see that much of is the bobcat. They're very nocturnal animals, and you don't see much of them. They'll stay hidden in the cover most of the time. Other animals that we're going to see in the southwest: the magpie, which is common, the porcupine, which when they can find trees, they usually destroy them down here. Again, the bobcats. And another common animal that's not really liked that much is the raccoon, which inhabits old buildings, farmyards, and can make a very messy place of it. Some of the big game animals you're going to find down in the southwest, more so than any other place in Saskatchewan, is the mule deer. You'll see up on the wall, that's the mule deer buck, that's the male, and this is the doe here. Those are more predominant in southwest Saskatchewan, but they have expanded their range way up as far as Prince Albert. Other birds you're going to find more common in the southwest are the ring-necked pheasant. And those are quite common down here. Another animal you're going to find in the waterways down here and in dugouts is the beaver. Wherever there are trees to make sure they can survive there, which isn't that many places, but if you have a unique place like Pine Creek Park, where you can go from the boreal forest to the grasslands in just a matter of meters, you'll find a beaver in that area. Shorebirds, we'll find them all over Southwest Saskatchewan. American avocet, the godwit, coots, the great blue herons are nesting in colonies down here, and they're called rookeries. If you know where to look, you can find them. They're not an uncommon bird. They feed on frogs and little minnows and stuff like that. So you'll see them along waterways and creeks.
Great.
Some of the other big game animals you're going to find in the Southwest are the moose and the elk. Now, elk were from the grasslands initially. They are grazers, and they were pushed out of the grasslands into the forest, and now are just slowly returning back to the grasslands. One of the other big game animals in the Southwest and all over Saskatchewan is the white-tailed deer. The specimens we have here are the male deer, and the horn size are very varied and different in any animal, so you can see that in these two mounts. Some of the other animals you're going to see, and even in town, are animals like the red fox and skunks. And when you see these animals, and because they're wild, you should always remember that with any wild animal, give it distance.